you've probably done the most for women's rights than anybody I know about, from what I've seen and what I've seen on television, what I've read about you.
Well, I give credit to my clients, of course, because I couldn't have done it without them.
Yes, but I don't know, you see injustice. This is what I see from my perspective. You see injustice, whether it's winnable or not, whether it's changeable or not, you go up against it.
Well, sometimes, if we can, and we have to assess the facts in each case. But, if we feel that it shouldn't happen, okay, that, for example, the case we had early, I think it was 1983, the two women that we represented, for a famous case, Rowland versus Kowitsky, involved Papa Shoe Restaurant in Los Angeles, where our two clients, an African-American woman and a Latina woman,
Yes.
went into Papa Shoe Restaurant to celebrate Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. And they had made a reservation, and they were life partners. And they went and they had reserved the private booth in the romantic section of the restaurant. You walked up a few steps, and there was about, I think, a semicircle of booths with sheer curtains, and you could sit there, and the violinist would stroll by playing.
Right.
And it was, very nice area of the restaurant for romantic dining. And so they were seated there, and then they alleged that someone came up from the restaurant, I don't know, it's a maitre d' or someone else, and told them there's been a mistake. They can't sit in that booth. It's only for couples. And of course they thought, well, what are we? We're a couple. Right. It's only for essentially opposite sex couples. Mm. And they would have to move. They could sit anywhere else in the restaurant, but not in the section for romantic dining. And they said, well, why? They said, well, there's a house policy. Two people sitting of the same sex can't sit in these booths. So they said, well, we want to see, I think, the owner or somebody higher up in the restaurant. And so that person came, and the person who came said, well, actually, they said there really is a city ordinance, a city law that prohibits two people of the same gender sit in this romantic section of the restaurant. And they said, well, we're businesswomen, we're not lawyers, but we just can't believe there's a law, a city ordinance that says two people of the same sex can't sit in the romantic section. And so then they said publicly later, we thought about, well, what would Martin Luther King Jr. want us to do? Sit in the back of the bus, so to speak, in the main section of the restaurant, or go to Gloria Allred? And they said he would want us to go to Gloria Allred. So they did come to me, and we had to decide, well, wait a minute, is this a ridiculous case? Because after all, they could still get a meal.
Right.
Or is this an important civil rights case? And so then we decided, if we thought that Rosa Parks having to sit in the back of the bus was an important case, even though she would still get a bus ride, then this was an important case, because this is really about not the dinner, it's about respect and dignity and treating individuals who are part of a minority, in this case, two women who happen to be lesbian, with respect and dignity and equality.
Right.
And so we did file the case,